The new MEC for Public Works and Infrastructure in KwaZulu-Natal, Meyer, believes there's a need for an audit of state-owned buildings. Meyer is holding a senior management meeting today with various stakeholders in the province to outline his plans for the department. He also says a conversation with the so-called construction mafias need to happen as a matter of urgency. And Newzroom Afrika's Ntando Mnyandu is there and joins me now live. We know, Ntando, this has been a historic issue, the issue of the construction mafia. It does have a corrosive impact, not only of the GDP of the province, but also of the country, you know, in terms of how it takes away from those legitimate suppliers and those construction companies. What are we expecting to hear in respect of those talks and also the broader plan in terms of managing this really important portfolio in the province?
Good morning, Iman, and good morning to our viewers at home. We are spot on. You know, there's construction mafias or incidences of intimidation that we've seen playing out in most of our construction sites in KwaZulu-Natal has ripple effect because you have contractors who are now afraid of doing business because they would then, be halted as they continue carrying out their duties after they have been, awarded those lucrative tenders. But what we understand is that a formation calling itself Amadela Ngokubona, which is aligned to the RET forces, they are always demanding a 30% stake in every construction work that is currently that takes place in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. They believe that local businesses such as community business forums should be given and afforded an equal chance to participate in the economy and in the bigger scheme of things. They are saying that it can't be business as usual, where you would have big corporations and big construction companies coming in and taking everything without leaving something for the communities. So that has been at the heart of the conflict between contractors and the so-called construction mafias. But we saw last week when Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Ntando, announced his cabinet here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, announcing Mr. Luke Martin Meyer as the new MEC for Infrastructure Development and Public Works here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, who did not mince his words, saying that it's high time that, they sat around the table with the so-called construction mafias, to discuss a way forward, because he says they cannot tolerate intimidation. And let's take a listen in one of the interviews that we conducted with Mr. Meyer.
Together with the Premier, we will be engaging with him and other role players, including role players in the private sector, community organizations and civic organizations, to form an urgent task team, not a task team just to talk, but one that will have very clear mandates, very clear directives and timeframes to work with. We are very happy to engage with the so-called construction mafia and with smaller service providers, but we will not be intimidated, and this government is made up of parties that is committed to follow the Constitution, and in the same way we will only engage with groups and organizations that's also committed to follow the rule of law and the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa.
Well, today, Mr. Meyer will be in discussion with different stakeholders, senior management of the Department of Infrastructure Development and Public Works here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. But let me bring in Mr. Bafana Nzuza, who's the member of Amadela Ngokubona and RET forces here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Mr. Nzuza, what becomes, your outlook to the newly appointed Martin Meyer, who's now the MEC for Public Infrastructure Development here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal as Amadela Ngokubona and as RET forces?
Okay. First, let me start by saying we thank the people of KwaZulu-Natal for not allowing the provocation and for allowing the unconstitutional government to lead for now, because this matter of this Mr. Meyer is still in court. We know that he's not a democratic elected member of this department. He leads through the back door.
But Mr. Zoza, sorry to cut you. He was appointed. He was not elected. He was appointed by the Premier. What is your attitude towards him? He says he's willing to come and discuss things with you as construction, the so-called Amadela Ngokubona construction mafias and RET forces. Are you willing to sit down around the table with him and discuss a way forward?
Yes, we will definitely meet with whoever that has been appointed to lead this department. However, this narrative or fallacy that some of us are construction mafias is a blue lie. I have never in my entire experience in this industry seen a mafia, so-called a construction mafia. And if so, that person should be jailed by now. But this narrative that has been told people, members of the public, that there is a construction mafia and people who are blocking tenders. All what we are doing in most cases, like in Pikligaseme Hospital, is to sit down with the main contractor and articulate around the 30% that is government gazetted. And the RET, the Radical Economic Transformation, is a policy that has been adopted by NASREC Policy Conference in 2017.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Nzuza.
Thank you so much.
Well, Mr. Bafana Nzuza saying it's fallacy that they are blocking construction. What they want is that 30% slice in all construction work as gazetted by government. With that, it's back to you for now, Iman.
Ntando, Mnyandu, thank you very much for that. A story we'll continue to watch.